Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey into the world of infinitives and gerunds. Those sneaky verb forms that can make even the most confident English speaker pause and think. These grammatical constructions might seem similar at first glance, but they have their own unique personalities and quirks. In this video, we'll explore the similarities and differences between infinitives and gerunds, uncovering the secrets to using them correctly in your own speech and writing. By the time we're done, you'll have a better understanding of when to use infinitives and gerunds with different verbs and expressions, and how your choice can impact the meaning of your sentences. It's like having a grammar decoder ring to unlock the full potential of your English communication. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's unravel the mysteries of infinitives and gerunds together. It's time to become grammar detectives and crack the case of these fascinating verb forms. Verbs that can take either infinitive or gerund, the versatile duo. First, let's talk about the verbs that can be followed by either an infinitive or a gerund without changing the meaning of the sentence. These verbs are like the chameleons of the grammar world, adapting to their surroundings and working with both verb forms seamlessly. For example, you can say either, I began working on the project, or I began to work on the project, and both sentences convey the same idea. It's like taking two different roads that lead to the same destination. Similarly, she can't bear waiting in long lines, and she can't bear to wait in long lines express the same sentiment. It's like the infinitive and gerund are two peas in a pod, working together to get the message across. However, there are some subtle differences to keep in mind. With verbs like advise, allow, permit, and recommend, if you mention the person receiving the advice or permission, you should use the infinitive. It's like the infinitive is the VIP pass that grants access to the person involved. For instance, the teacher allowed the students to use their notes during the exam. But if you don't mention the person, use the gerund. It's like the gerund is the general admission ticket that applies to everyone. The teacher allowed using notes during the exam. Regret, remember, and forget, the time-traveling trio. Now, let's talk about three verbs that can be a bit tricky: regret, remember, and forget. These verbs are like time travelers, hopping between the past, present, and future, and the form you use with them depends on the sequence of actions. It's like choosing the right tense to match the timeline of events. Use the gerund when the action expressed by the gerund happens before the regretting, remembering, or forgetting. It's like the gerund is a flashback to an earlier moment in the story. For example, I regret spending so much money on that impulse purchase. She remembers visiting her grandparents every summer as a child. He'll never forget meeting his favorite celebrity at the airport. But use the infinitive when the regretting, remembering, or forgetting comes first. It's like the infinitive is a flash forward to a future event or a reminder of something that needs to be done. For instance, I regret to inform you that your application has been denied. Remember to lock the door when you leave the house. I forgot to buy milk at the store today. It's also worth noting that remember and forget can be followed by a noun, pronoun, or a that clause. It's like they're the social butterflies of the verb world, mingling with different types of grammatical constructions. For example, I remember the day we first met. He forgot his wallet at home. She remembered that she had an important meeting scheduled for tomorrow. Agree, mean, and propose, the meaning-shifting trio. The verbs agree, mean, and propose can also be followed by either an infinitive or a gerund, but the choice depends on the intended meaning. It's like these verbs are the superheroes of the grammar world, using their different forms to convey distinct messages and save the day. Use agree with an infinitive to express a decision or willingness to do something. It's like the infinitive is the sidekick that helps agree spring into action. She agreed to help me move to my new apartment. But use agree to with a gerund or noun to express permission or acceptance. It's like the gerund or noun is the trusty steed that carries agree into battle. He agreed to my leaving early on Friday, or they agreed to the proposed changes in the contract. Use mean with an infinitive to express intention. It's like the infinitive is the secret weapon that helps mean accomplish its mission. I mean to finish this project by the end of the week. But use mean with a gerund to express that something involves or requires a particular action. It's like the gerund is the hidden power that fuels mean's abilities. Getting in shape means exercising regularly and eating a balanced diet. Go on, stop, try, and used. 2. The action-packed quartet. Let's move on to some more verbs that can be followed by either an infinitive or a gerund. Go on, stop, try, and used. 2. These verbs are like the action heroes of the grammar world, using their different forms to express continuation, cessation, effort, and past habits. Use go on with a gerund to express the continuation of an action. It's like the gerund is the trusty steed that carries go on through the adventure. Despite the rain, the construction workers went on building the new shopping center. But use go on with an infinitive to introduce a new aspect of a topic you were already discussing. It's like the infinitive is the exciting plot twist that takes the story in a new direction. She talked about her childhood and went on to describe her college experiences. Use stop with a gerund to express the cessation of an action. It's like the gerund is the powerful force that brings stop to a halt. He stopped smoking after his doctor warned him about the health risks. But use stop with an infinitive to express the reason for stopping. It's like the infinitive is the intriguing mystery that stop needs to investigate. They stopped to admire the beautiful sunset over the ocean. Use try with an infinitive to express an attempt or effort to do something. It's like the infinitive is the daring mission that try embarks upon. I tried to solve the math problem, but I couldn't figure it out. But use try with a gerund to express experimenting with a new action or method. It's like the gerund is the secret weapon that try tests out. Have you tried restarting your computer to see if that fixes the issue? Finally, use used to with an infinitive to express a past habit or routine. It's like the infinitive is the time machine that transports used to back to a bygone era. When I was a child, I used to play outside with my friends every day after school. Be afraid of, be sorry for, and be ashamed of. The emotion-filled trio. Now, let's discuss 3 expressions that can be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive, depending on the context. Be afraid of, be sorry for, and be ashamed of. These expressions are like the emotional roller coasters of the grammar world, using their different forms to convey fear, regret, and shame. Use be afraid of with a gerund to express fear of an involuntary or unintentional action. It's like the gerund is the spooky ghost that haunts be afraid. Many people are afraid of flying because they have no control over the plane. But use be afraid with an infinitive to express fear that prevents a deliberate action. It's like the infinitive is the scary monster that be afraid must confront. He was afraid to tell his parents about the failing grade he received on his report card. Be afraid can also be followed by a that clause to express a specific fear or mild regret. It's like the that clause is the mysterious clue that be afraid uncovers. I'm afraid that I won't be able to attend the party this weekend. Or, I'm afraid we're all out of the product you requested. Use be sorry for with a gerund to apologize for a past action. It's like the gerund is the remorseful ghost that haunts be sorry. I'm sorry for not returning your call sooner. I've been extremely busy at work. But use be sorry with an infinitive to express regret or sadness about a situation. It's like the infinitive is the tragic event that be sorry mourns. We were sorry to hear about the passing of your beloved pet. When be sorry is followed by an infinitive expressing an involuntary action, the two actions occur almost simultaneously. It's like be sorry, and the infinitive are the star-crossed lovers of the grammar world. She was sorry to see her friend looking so unhappy at the reunion. Use be ashamed of with a gerund or reflexive pronoun to express shame about a previous action. It's like the gerund or reflexive pronoun is the embarrassing secret that be ashamed tries to hide. He was ashamed of lying to his boss about the reason for his absence. Or, you should be ashamed of yourself for behaving so rudely at the dinner party. But use be ashamed with an infinitive to express shame that prevents a future action. It's like the infinitive is the daunting task that be ashamed fears to face. I would be ashamed to ask my parents for more money after they've already given me so much. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this lesson. We've explored the various ways in which infinitives and gerunds can be used with different verbs and expressions, and we've seen how the choice between the two can depend on factors like sequence of actions, intention, and context. It's like we've been on a thrilling grammar adventure, uncovering the secrets of these fascinating verb forms.
In the world of words we often see two forms that are speech-free. Infinitives and gerunds guide in the sentences we write with pride. Infinitives showing the way to read, to write, to sing, to play. Reading, writing, always true, always true. They shape the things we love to do. Infinitives start with to, you see, to run, to jump, to climb a tree. They tell us what we aim to do, our hopes and plans, our goals in view. Infinitives showing the way to read, to write, to sing, to play. Reading, writing, always true, always true. They shape the things we love to do. Gerunds end with an ing, running, jumping, how we sing. They turn actions into nouns, describing how we go around. When we say I love to read, infinitives fulfill the need. But reading is my favorite thing, shows a gerund special ring. Infinitives showing the way to read, to write, to sing, to play. Reading, writing, always true, always true. They shape the things we love to do. In every sentence both can shine, infinitives and gerunds intertwine. With these forms our speech is clear, infinitives and gerunds always near.